Denmark's now mobilizing troops to protect Greenland, probably from Donald Trump. Because among the millions of things happening, you've got the Trump administration gunning for a US takeover of Greenland, even though pretty much everyone's against the idea, including residents of Greenland, as well as leaders in Denmark, NATO, and the EU. Though Trump has repeatedly claimed that the US needs Greenland for national security and saying that it's just covered by Chinese and Russian ships, which is a claim that both experts and Greenland residents have expressed doubt over. Right, and Greenland's prime minister has made their stance very clear, saying Greenland does not want to be owned by the USA. Greenland does not want to be governed by the USA. Greenland will not be part of the USA. We choose the Greenland we know today, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. And with that, adding, now we are faced with a geopolitical crisis, and if we have to choose between the USA and Denmark here and now, we choose Denmark. Something that you've seen echoed by many Greenland residents, saying that they're concerned about cultural differences as well as losing the Scandinavian welfare system. Because among other things, exchanging free healthcare for whatever the fuck it is we have doesn't sound appealing to a lot of people. And even back here in the States, the majority of Americans aren't really on board. But according to a Reuters poll, only 17% of Americans support Trump's efforts to annex Greenland. But Trump really doesn't seem concerned with American or Greenlander opinions on this, and he's very pointedly said that he hasn't ruled out taking Greenland by force. He's even promised that we'll do this, what he called the hard way if necessary, which has led to several European countries promising to defend Greenland in the case of an invasion. And all of that's connected then to the news today that Denmark is increasing military presence in and around Greenland in the coming period involving aircraft, ships, and soldiers. You're also seeing Swedish armed forces arriving as a part of a group from several allied countries, which includes Germany, France, and Norway. But again, even in the face of that, Trump is not letting up. In fact, early this morning, he doubled down on this whole thing again, where Trump's saying Greenland is necessary for his plan to build the Golden Dome. And if you don't remember, that's his grand plan for a futuristic missile defense system, right? And then Trump also directly called out NATO, saying that they should be leading the way for the United States to take Greenland, or else, quote, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen. Adding that NATO is not an effective force or deterrent, and saying NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hands of the United States. Anything less than that is unacceptable. And the timing of all this is interesting because Trump's statement on Truth Social, it came just hours before a scheduled meeting between Denmark's foreign minister, his Greenland counterpart, and J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio to discuss Greenland. And this meeting, it's been seen by Copenhagen as a crucial chance to ease tensions with the Trump administration. You even had a Danish foreign minister saying, our reason for seeking the meeting we have now been given was to move this whole discussion, which has not become less tense since we last met, into a meeting room where we can look each other in the eye and talk about these things. While it was initially just a meeting with Rubio, Vance reportedly jumped in as well, offering to host the meeting at the White House. And after that meeting, we saw the Danish and Greenland officials giving a press conference saying that the discussion was constructive and they were able to challenge Trump's social media narrative about Chinese and Russian ships surrounding Greenland. But as for a genuine solution, it looks like that's still a ways off. Or the Danish foreign minister is saying at the meeting to establish a new high-level group that will meet for the first time in the next few weeks to address what he called the security concerns of the US while still respecting the borders of Greenland as a part of the Kingdom of Denmark.